Okay, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, evening, whatever it happens to be in your part of the world. It's morning here. Welcome to World's English, and my name is Tony. I am the founder and a teacher at World's English, and I'm here today to talk to you about the reading section of the IELTS. So please bear with me for a moment. We're going to give a little time for some students to arrive and for me to get my screen share going here. All right. Now, while we're waiting for some other students, I'm expecting a couple students today. I just want to show you around a little bit, show you World's English in case you are new to us. So I want to show you how to register for a course, because you may have come here through the link that I shared on social media, Facebook, or one of the other sites. So I want you to know how you can get to our other free and low-cost courses. So the website is worldsenglish.net. Okay, .net. And I'm going to be having my coffee because it is morning here. So I hope you also have your coffee or your beverage of choice. Okay. When you reach the website, there are many things you can see here. Of course, you can see the types of lessons that we offer. You can learn about our teachers, see teacher reviews. You can learn about our scholarship fund if you can't afford lessons or you're interested in donating to the scholarship fund. Or you can book an appointment by using this link or this link down here. And the best way to see the courses that are available at the time, let's see if there's anything else I want to show you on this page before I leave it. It's kind of a repeat of what is in the menus. So the best way is to click on book one of our classes or register for a class, whatever you remember. The big blue button. And I always recommend that you have a free level test and a free consultation lesson before you begin taking other lessons. It's not required, but it is recommended. So to get to the free level test, come to miscellaneous services. Miscellaneous means a variety of different services. Okay, and you can select free level test. It's at the top and the bottom. Before I show you the level test, I also want to point out that our lessons are only $5 for group lessons. And we also have a subscription plan you can access here for $29 a month for unlimited lessons. This is also where you access the scholarship application. And from within the scholarship page, you can donate if you're interested in donating. If you need help with document editing services, maybe you want to have a paper that you're writing for your university course, edited by a teacher. You can request that service here. But let's go back to the level test. So you click on the level test and you choose the first date and time available. It doesn't matter if you're available. It's only listed as 5 minutes because it's a link. You will receive a link in your email and you can do the level test at any time that is convenient for you. You'll enter your information, and if you're already registered in our system, it will recognize you and you won't have to complete everything here. You'll see that when I enter this. This is a test student. Okay, so when I click, see, it recognizes this email address. So now I don't have to fill in the rest. So I can submit this. This is how you would schedule any lesson. But for the level test, you'll receive a link in your email within 24 hours. Usually within 24 hours. We do our best to meet that time frame. If you schedule one of the free video recorded lessons, then you'll find when you go into let's see if I can back up. When you go into manage booking, you'll see a YouTube link here for the free video lesson, not this Zoom link. So this is the link that we use for the course, the complimentary consultation course that you will take after you complete your level test. Okay. I'm going to cancel this so it doesn't show up on my schedule, but that is how you get your level test. Now, once you take your level test, I will schedule you for the follow-up lesson. If you don't like the time, you will have the option to reschedule and give 3 times that work for you. Okay. Now, suppose you've already taken your level test, or you don't want to take a level test and you know your level and you just want to take a group lesson. Okay, you can go into any section and see the lessons. Maybe your son or daughter wants to take English lessons. Here's our English for Children link. Maybe you just want to have conversation. You can do that in this lesson. Just speaking. Maybe you're interested in a variety of reading, writing, listening, and speaking lessons, and you know your level is beginner or through intermediate. You can choose this one. Or if you are upper intermediate through advanced, you can choose this one. Or if you'd like to try our very popular TED English lessons, choose this one. You should be an upper intermediate to advanced level English speaker before you attempt TED English. It is difficult. Okay, here is where you will find the business English lessons. For TOEFL and for IELTS, you should be at an upper intermediate or higher level before attempting these. This is why the level test is recommended. Okay, Suppose you don't want a group lesson, you want a one-on-one lesson, private lesson with a native English-speaking teacher. You'll find those here. The price is higher for these, but it's still a very competitive price. Okay. Maybe you want to get 10 one-on-one lessons and get a discount. You'll see packages here and subscriptions. Okay. So that is how you find your way around the menus. So looks like we're at about 13 minutes after, and our students have not arrived. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our IELTS introduction to reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about reading at a glance, or the exam at a glance, actually, meaning just at first sight. The exam is 60 minutes long, and there are 3 parts with 40 questions throughout those 3 parts. You have to get your answers onto the answer sheet during that time. You don't have extra time. Everything has to be done in that 60 minutes. And that's the hard part, because if you're not a fast reader or you struggle with the vocabulary, it will take more time. You're not allowed to have a dictionary. So it's very important that you have that vocabulary level and that reading level of an upper intermediate to advanced speaker prior to attempting the IELTS exam. The exam's expensive, and you don't want to waste your money passing the other 3 parts when you're going to fail the reading part. So you must be sure that you're going to pass all 4 parts. Okay, practice exams will help you know if you're ready for that or not. Okay. As you go through the texts and the questions, they will become more difficult. In the general, there are 2 parts to the IELTS exam. There's the general and the academic. So general is for those that are possibly immigrating or using it for their job or something like that, where the academic is for the purpose of entering an English-speaking university. IELTS is commonly accepted around the world, even in the United States now. TOEFL is also accepted in the United States. It was the original exam in the United States, but IELTS is widely accepted now. As far as the score you need, it will depend on what the requester wants. Maybe the university wants 800 or 700, so you will have to check with them. It's not a pass or fail situation. You're trying to achieve the score you need for your admission or your immigration or whatever you're trying to achieve. Okay, so in the reading section, there are 2 parts, or two types of exam, the academic or the general. Okay, the general model texts are not academic, but feature aspects of daily life such as advertisements or reviews or how-to items. But in the academic section, you have more academic type text, academic type reading, like an article or a history, a page from a history book, a section from a history book, or possibly some scientific research. So as you progress through the reading section of the IELTS preparation course, you'll learn how to address each of those types of questions through each lesson that you take. So typically when I recommend that you take the level test, You'll examine which areas your weaknesses are in, and that's where you'll take most of your preparation lessons. And it's also where you'll take remedial lessons, basic lessons, basic language, general language lessons in that area. For example, if you're struggling with a certain grammar point, you may need to go back and take that grammar lesson to brush up on that grammar point. If your reading skills are just weak and you're not ready for the IELTS in terms of your reading skills, you can take reading English lessons before you begin the reading section of the IELTS preparation. In fact, before you begin any IELTS preparation, all of your skills should be up to par. Okay, so what will you read in the IELTS exam? So which ones do you think will be in the academic module and which will appear in the general module? Okay, the first one, how to be successful in a job interview. The second one, why humans have different eye colors. Number 3, research about drugs that will extend human longevity. Number 4, a review of the things to visit while at the Bancroft Museum. Number 5, how the world's oceans are becoming warmer. Okay, so let's go back one more time. Okay, remember, in our general module, we might have advertisements, reviews, and how-to articles. In the academic, we might have an article on history or science research, something like that. Okay, so what do we have? A job interview. Okay, that sounds like a general. Okay, it's everyday life, a job interview. Why humans have different eye colors. This sounds like a scientific topic to me. Research about drugs that will extend human longevity. Okay, here's our keyword, research. So we know that one's science. So that's an academic. A review of things to visit while at the Bancroft Museum. Okay, this sounds like maybe travel, tourism, something like that. So that's everyday life. So we're going to say that's general. How the world's oceans are becoming warmer. This sounds like a research or science topic, doesn't it? So that one is academic. Okay. Okay, so think about your own reading habits. Obviously, we all have certain tastes in reading material. Your sister might like to read science fiction, where you like to read nonfiction. Maybe you like to read travel periodicals or something to do with your work. Okay, so think about it. What kind of materials do you read on a regular basis? Do you read for pleasure or do you read for work or study? What sort of information are you looking for? Are you looking for a story to stimulate your imagination, or are you looking for something that will help you with your everyday tasks or something you're interested in? Okay, think about the skills that you need. You need to be able to find information in text. There are 2 key skills you're going to need to know as you prepare for the reading exam. That will help you locate specific information in text. One is scanning. You scan for specific dates, times, costs, things like that. The other we call skimming. When we read text quickly to find exactly the information we need, well, that's scanning, okay? Just when we want to read it quickly and we go over it quickly, that would be more like skimming. But if we're actually searching for something in the text, we are scanning. Okay, like we might be looking for a particular reference or a quote, or just to understand the gist of the article. Now this is questionable. I think I might consider that to be skimming. Okay. All right, so in this text, go ahead and pause the video and take about 15 seconds to go through and find the name of the lawyer and the location of the hearing. Actually, I'm going to give you a moment. So scan through quickly. Okay, did you find it? Did you find it? Who was the name of the lawyer and the location of the hearing? The lawyer was Peter, and the location of the hearing was Bahal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, so here's Peter. It says Peter would represent Michael, so that's how we know. Okay, and the court is in Bahal. So I gave you a lot of time with that, but you will need to be able to do it quicker than that, actually. Okay, finding the purpose of a text. So why do we write? What is the purpose of an article in a scientific review or a daily newspaper? To share information, right? And so we read to gain that information. We write to express our opinions, to sell something, maybe to provide news to friends and family, to complete tasks at work, to persuade someone of something, to make a suggestion, to make recommendations, or to review something. Okay. So for this article, I want you to read this below and, in your opinion, decide what is the author's purpose. What is the author's purpose? Go ahead and read, and I'll wait a few seconds. Okay, did you get it? What do you think the author's purpose is here? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Hopefully this is what you got. The author's purpose is to persuade people to use their vote, to warn against complacency in a democracy, to remind people of their rights and obligations. Okay, what's the big idea or the main idea? When you read more serious articles, it's important to know how to distinguish the main idea from other ideas. So in a large body of text, there will be a main idea, and then supporting ideas. They may actually support the main idea, or they might detract from it. So they might be argumentative. They might contrast that idea. Here we have an excerpt of a text. So I want you to scan this quickly. I'm only going to give you a few seconds to find the main idea and what ideas are presented that support the main idea. Okay, go. Okay, did you get it? Okay, so it's a good idea to find the point in an article. It's good practice to always do that. So when you're practicing for the IELTS reading section, make it a habit to find the main idea of the excerpt you're reading. So in this little paragraph, the main idea is that we should not keep wild animals as pets. The writer supports the main idea by expressing that it's dangerous and cruel, and that wild animals should live in their natural environment. What do you think the writer's purpose is here? Okay, can you follow the argument? Often a text will contain a statement by the author. Maybe the author is going to provide evidence for or against the statement. So supporting or contrasting. And contradictory information may be presented. Okay, so you need to try to understand where the argument is going. So in this text, scan through this and look for the statement made by the author and what is the key argument. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pause that share just yet. Okay, go ahead. Okay, did you get it? Okay, so in this article, the main point is that minority groups are ignored. Okay. So here we have it, simply ignored the rights of minority groups. The key argument is that minority groups should have a say in what happens to them. So the minority itself must determine its own future. They talk about how the government projects did not involve the minorities. Okay. So what is the writer's purpose in this? And what is the writer's opinion? That's what you're looking for. The questions you have on the exam will focus around those ideas. What is the purpose? What is the opinion? Okay, so let's talk about attitude and opinion. Having a wide vocabulary will help you to understand the author's feelings on a topic. You don't want to get into the exam and not understand the words that are presented in the text. So it's very important that you have a good level of vocabulary, or you're able to gather the meaning from the context of the word. Okay, so think about your opinion on these topics. The death penalty is necessary for some crimes. Okay, do you have an opinion about this? Are you able to use language to express how you feel about this? I'm strongly against the death penalty because A. Or I feel impartial about the death penalty because, or I'm strongly for the death penalty. And this is why. Okay? So make sure that you're able to use words that express your feelings, statements that express your feelings about topics when you're needing to give your opinion. Okay, and then be able to explain why you hold that opinion. So practice with these. You can stop the video and practice and talk out loud, maybe record yourself or talk to some other person who's listening, you know, and give your opinion about climate change. Do you believe that it has begun? Do you dispute that it exists? Are you for or against addressing climate change, and why? Things like that. Okay, so you can practice with those. Diagrams and tables. Okay, you might come across these every day, and you probably see them in your own language all the time. They're used for a specific purpose. They're used for many purposes. They provide a visualization. A diagram provides a visualization. A table presents information for quick analysis. Okay, in the IELTS exam, you will need to backfill a diagram or table. That means more than one area will not be filled in. And you will have to extract the information from the text. That is, you select the text from an article to complete the missing information. Can you guess what's missing in this table? Okay, obviously the top row is missing a class name here. I don't know why there's no question mark. In the second row, what are these? These look like scores. We're missing a score here, right? The bottom row, we're missing something here. Okay, I don't know. This is a subject, so I don't know why there's nothing filled in here, but this would also be a subject, right? Because we have French literature and history. Okay, so I had to sneeze, so hopefully I muted that in time. Okay. What types of tables and diagrams do you use on a regular basis? How often do you consult a timetable or a schedule? Maybe you have a bus schedule or a train schedule that you consult regularly, or something else. Maybe something for your job. Okay, the next section we're talking about is summaries and notes. Much of what we read is notes or summary. Okay, it's just straight text, isn't it? The main difference between notes and summary is one of grammar. A summary contains full sentences, while notes are often groups of words linked to a subject heading. So they may not be grammatically correct. You see here, we have a complete note. We have full sentences, right? The film takes place in the late 19th century in the seedy back streets of central London. That's a full sentence. Here it's presented more like a list or a group of phrases. We have 14th century. And it's kind of an outline. 14th century, we had the birth of Giotto, birth of Donatello. These are not full sentences. They're just groups of words. Okay, so this summary is a short review of a film. The notes are on a historical period. Okay, this is something that you could definitely expect in the IELTS exam. So how often do you take notes? And what information do you keep in note form? Your grocery list, perhaps? A list of something else? What summaries do you read? Do you read books or film reviews? Do you read horoscopes? Okay. Okay, let's talk about the features of a text. Okay, so we need to identify each feature in the text and know the vocabulary. So we have the heading. So here we have the heading, Rise of the Superbug. Let's go to a pen because my highlighter is not working well. Okay, Rise of the Superbug. Okay. Is the heading. Figure. Okay, first let's just look at this. What is this under the heading? We're just going to go down the page. Okay, so this is the subheading. Just to be consistent. Okay, then what do we have? This whole thing right here. This is our paragraph, isn't it? Okay, what do you suppose this is? This is the giveaway, the little one and the one here. I didn't mean to black that out. Okay, and the one here. So this is a footnote. Okay, here it says write a microscopic view of bacteria, so it's pointing to the picture, isn't it? So this is a caption. A caption is something that describes a picture. Do we have a figure? Let's clear all that. Do we have a figure here? Okay, so the picture is what we call a figure. We might also call a number or set of numbers a figure. But in this case, the picture is the figure. Okay. One more thing about that. No. Whoops. Okay, clicking everywhere here. Okay. The IELTS text might be more than 1,000 words. Okay, so it could be fairly lengthy. All the more reason why you have to have strong reading skills, be able to read quickly and extract the information you need, or be able to go back and scan for the information you need very quickly. This is difficult even for native English speakers. So it takes a lot of practice. And it's tempting to practice the easy, fun things like speaking. But I really recommend that you spend a lot of time practicing reading. This is the area that people struggle the most with the IELTS. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to read this text and find the subject and main points. You should use a piece of note paper. Okay, I'm going to stop the share for a moment. Okay, I want you to get a piece of paper, and we'll set up a timer here. Google has lots of good things, right? I'm going to set the timer for 30 seconds. And this is the sort of thing you can expect in all of the IELTS lessons. We do lots of timing. Okay, we'll just do it with the stopwatch. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you the article again, and you'll have 30 seconds again. And then we'll move to the next slide. Okay, go ahead. Find the subject and the main points. All right. So how did you do? What was the subject? Did you catch that? The settlement of Canada. Do you remember the date of Confederation? It was 1867. Did you get it? The Europeans arrived in the 1500s. Apart from Canada, which countries are mentioned? They were France and Britain. What was the relationship between France and Britain with the Aboriginal people? It was difficult. They were often at war. Okay, so in addition to preparing for the exam through preparation courses, you should also be reading some publications. Just read every day. Practice your reading skills. Okay, so when you are reading, you want to read with a strategy. especially with long text. Choose a variety of publications and styles. Don't read the same type of thing every day. You might be reading a popular science journal one day, articles about history on another day, some general interest articles. Also, you'll need to do a large variety of academic reading if you're preparing for the academic exam. Okay. When you're reading, try to capture the main idea of the article, the author's purpose, how does the author feel about the subject, and what are the key takeaways. Okay, main idea, the purpose, the feelings, how does the author feel, and key takeaways. 4 things in everything you read. Okay, and that's the best way, aside from learning the strategy for the various types of questions, which is what you will learn in the IELTS preparation courses. This is the way you will prepare your reading skills for the exam. And this will have to be done outside of your IELTS preparation courses. It's just lots of reading and preparation. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pause the share again. I'm going to give you this article. And you will determine what is the subject, the purpose, how does the author feel, and what are the key points, just like we mentioned. Okay? This one's a little bit longer, so I'm going to give you 60 seconds. It's not a lot of time, but take your piece of notebook paper and write things on your paper. Right now, before you begin, write subject, purpose, make a list, subject, purpose, feelings, key points. Number 1, subject. Number 2, purpose. Number 3, feelings. Number 4, key points. Now, when you're reading through the article, this will be your template. When you find the author's purpose, write it next to purpose on your paper. When you find the main subject, write it next to subject. And get used to using a template like this. It will make your life so much easier when you take the exam. Okay, so I'm going to resume the screen share so you can see the article, and I'll give you 60 seconds. Find the subject, purpose, the author's feelings, and the key points. Okay, go. Okay, time is up. How did you do? Did you find the main subject, Gothic architecture? Okay, the Gothic style grew out of Romanesque architecture. So we're talking about Gothic architecture. Okay, what was the author's purpose? Hopefully you said to provide a summary of Gothic architecture. Okay, because we see Gothic architecture. Gothic architecture. The topic continues to be about Gothic architecture, right? That's difficult to say several times. All right. What is the author's attitude in this article? Okay, in this particular article, the author did not really express an opinion other than that he or she considers Gothic architecture to be beautiful. Okay, often very beautiful, we found here. What are the key points? Okay, it began in Europe, right? First pioneered in Western Europe. It lasted from the 12th to the 16th century. So in the 12th century, lasted until the 16th century. Many religious buildings. We see great cathedrals, abbeys, churches, right? So there's lots of religious buildings. Today, the buildings are considered world monuments. And here's how we know that. They're listed as World Heritage Sites. Okay, so hopefully you did well. You learned a few basic techniques for approaching the reading exam. I encourage you to enroll in all of the reading exam lessons that are available. And like I showed in the beginning, you can go to the World's English website to see what reading lessons are available, IELTS reading lessons. So just for the current time, this may change between now and the time of when you watch this recording. Hopefully there will be a lot of recorded lessons available for you in the future. Right now, most lessons are live, but we are working to create more recorded lessons. So there are more lessons available to you at any time and at a better price. Our main goal here is to keep your lessons very affordable, because we do understand that English lessons can get very expensive. Okay, so if you go into the IELTS section, you'll see a list of all the lessons available. Anything that has an R next to it is a reading lesson. Of course, W, CW11, W13, those are writing. These are speaking. So you'll have to scroll down, and you'll see here all these reading lessons are available. So you can choose the reading lesson that you would like to attend, okay, and find a date that it's available and a time and select that, and that's how you enroll in the reading lesson. The live courses are $5. The recorded sessions, other than the introductory sessions, which are free, the other recorded sessions will be $3. There are none available at the time of this recording, but they will be in the future. So hopefully you see some now. Okay, so if you have any questions, you need any assistance with anything, you can reach out to us. by sending a message right here on the website, or just email us at support@worldsenglish.net. Either way. This is the easiest way, though. Just leave your message here and send it, and we will contact you as soon as possible. So thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to seeing you in class soon. Have a great day.